Hello everyone, how are you doing? I trust you're having a very wonderful day. In today's cybersecurity analysis course, we were looking at package managers and what a package is in the first place. So we'll continue from the last class where we talked about Linux distributions. In this class, you'll be learning more about what a package manager is, what is a package, the different packages that we have, and how to install a package. So the first thing I'll talk about now is what is package management in the first place. In Linux package management is a system that helps users to install, update, remove, and manage software packages on the Linux operating system. Very simple. It helps you to install, to remove, to manage software packages on a Linux operating system. So when we talk about that, this is more of a centralized way to handle softwares, dependencies, updates, and installations. Many of us are used to Windows and even our smartphones. Maybe you want to install an application, you go to the Play Store and you install it, or Apple Store and you install it. Then if it's for Windows, you probably go to the Windows store and install it, or iTunes and install. So but for those that even install over the net, you probably download an executable file .exe, and once you download the file, you are able to extract the file and install. But here in Linux, you don't do that, because generally speaking, you even work with command line, so you can't. It's not a GUI. Like we've talked about GUI, but your CLI in the first place. So this is not a graphic user interface. This is more like a command line interface, a text-based interface. And if you still have some issues with GUI but your CLI, you can still go back to that video and refresh your memory on GUI, what a graphic user interface is, and what a CLI, command line interface, is all about. So since we are using command line, you can just go download the software and put it into Linux. Now, what Linux uses is what they call package managers, or package management, or whatever you want to call it. So inside the package comes all of the files necessary to install that software. So in case there are some things that the software might need, or Linux might need, that is not available, the package comes with everything it needs to install that software on a Linux operating system. So now when we talk about the package, what do we mean by a package? Simply, a package is a piece of software, that you can combine with other packages to form an application. A package can be large. Some of them can be large enough to become an application on their own, or they might be combined with other softwares to become an application. And what the package manager does is to resolve any issues that has to do with installation process. So the package manager helps you to install, manage, or even remove. So you can install a package, you can install the software, you can remove a software, you can manage the software. Everything is done by the package manager. And one thing that is also good is to use the recent version of a package, the most recent version, the up-to-date version of a package. In the next class, we'll be looking more of we'll do a practical class on how to download, install, and remove a package. So you will see how it is to use command line to be able to install, download, and all of that. Then we can now talk about package managers. Types of package managers. So there are different types of package managers because there are different Linux distributions. We've talked about the distributions in Linux. You can still go back to the last class, and we said there are over 600 distributions in Linux, and some of them are probably the same parent, because they are what they call the parent distributions. Like Debian is a parent distribution that consists of Kali Linux and Ubuntu and Parrot. Then we have CentOS is also another distribution that is a parent distribution that has Red Hat. So each of these distributions have their own type of package managers. So there are a lot of package managers, but there are very popular ones. So we'll just take time to understand the popular ones. The popular ones, we have Red Hat Package Manager, that's RPM. We also have the APT Package Manager, and these ones are popular. APT, or Advanced Package Tool. The APT is a tool used with Debian derived distributions. When I mean Debian derived distributions, remember Debian is a parent, the parent distribution. So under it you could have several children, or the ones that are derived from it. We talk about Kali, we talk about Ubuntu, we talk about Parrot, and so many like that. So this one, Debian runs on the command line interface to manage, search, and install packages. We also have the Yellow Dog Updater Modified. This one is used for Red Hat distributions, Red Hat derived distributions, all of them that come from the Red Hat family. It is run from the command line interface also to manage, search, and install packages. So Yum works with .rpm file. We have other types of distributions too. You remember that Red Hat has a lot of children. We have CentOS, we have Fedora, and all of that. So these ones are kind of the popular ones, and the reason why people try to focus on the popular ones is because, you know, most of the systems that you are going to, or the Linux operating systems, use either Debian based or Red Hat based distributions, but there are still a whole lot of distributions that you can still use. Nevertheless, there are still other ones like DNF, Dandified, and DNF is more like from Yum also. It's in a successor to Yum, and it's used by Fedora and other Red Hat based systems. We have Pacman, used for Arch Linux and the derivatives. We have Portage, used by Gentoo Linux and source derivative or distribution. We have Zipper, we have Homebrew. Then those are different types of operating system package managers. There are a lot of them. Remember that Linux has over 600 distributions, but we don't need to really cram all of those things. We just need to know the most popular ones, which is Yum and APT. As a matter of fact, APT is the most popular because it's used by Debian based distributions like Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and Ubuntu is very popular. Kali Linux is very popular, so you just need to know them. So this APT is used, and we'll take an example in the next class on how to install, a practical example of how to install packages. Before we end today's class, let's just look at some basic package management commands, and so you can be able to understand what they have. So when we have apt get update, what it means is to update the package to reflect the latest available packages. And when we talk about apt get install package name, whatever the package name is, that, or you say apt install, or you can even use the word apt update. Apt update is just to update the package. Apt install is to install the specified package, whatever it is, whether you want to install Metasploit, or you want to install that's for Kali Linux, or you want to install maybe Nmap, or probably you want to install Wireshark. Then you can also use apt get, apt remove package, that is to remove the specified package. Another one is apt upgrade, is to upgrade all installed packages to their latest version. Then apt auto remove removes the package that are automatically installed to satisfy dependencies. So these are basically the words you'll be used to if you are using apt. But if it's Yum, you can either use Yum or DNF. You say Yum update, Yum install, Yum remove, Yum upgrade, the same way. Yum. So instead of apt, you can use Yum, Yum update, Yum install, Yum remove, Yum upgrade, or Yum auto remove. So those are basically how to work with updating and removing packages. Very important. So just a summary of what we discussed now. A package is more of a piece of software that can combine with other packages to form an application. Then Linux distribution doesn't work like GUI, where you have to go download and then install and unbox and all of that. But here you can use the command line interface to use package manager, because package manager comes with all of the required files to be able to install that software. So you just use there are different package managers. You can use maybe apt package manager. Just write apt install this specified software. So if the software is available, you should just install it. So then you can also look for the version, apt update. You can also look for versions and all of that. So package management tools allows users to easily work with packages through the shell. Remember, you work with it through the shell. The shell is more like a command line interpreter where you are able to interpret whatever you send to the OS is able to be brought back to you, displayed back to you. So remember that when you talk about the command line interpreter, we've talked about it before, and the shell is very simple. You can't talk to the computer in its own language. Remember, the computer understands binaries, but you talk to the computer with probably English. Then the shell is able to interpret it to the computer in this binary code and return it back to you as English. So all of that thing is done by the shell, the command line interpreter. So we will still look at a shell in other classes. After working the next class with practicals, we'll go and look at the shell in depth, how to use the shell, Linux shell, and do some practicals on it. All right, so thank you for joining this class. Join me again in the next class.